Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? It's Richard Kuo, and this is for all my friends who are currently in high school. This is how to survive high school. So first of all, when I was in high school, I used to be kind of a nerdy, dorky little kid, but at the same time, I figured out a way to kind of fit into certain social circles, or I guess kind of be a cool kid in a way. There's definitely things I could have improved while I was in high school, so I want to share with you kind of the best of the best, what I wish I did better, and also what I did do, and hopefully these are good tips for you to survive high school. I'm going to break this video down into two main categories, or two main parts. The first one is going to be more superficial on the outside, such as academics, extracurricular, and friends/relationships, while the second part is going to be more internal, which I believe is the more important part, which is going to talk about our internal challenges and our struggles that we have in high school. Starting off, let's talk about the superficial outside stuff. Academics. You probably want to know, how do I do really well in school? How do I get straight A's or B's or C's? Hopefully A's or B's if that's your goal. Hey, either way, it's not even about the grades, to be honest. So, okay, let's talk about academics. How you do well in school? Quite frankly, I want to say the only way you do well in school is to work your butt off. And I know there's ways that you could do well, like if you're just naturally talented and you just get by, and some people could do that, but not all people. So here's the thing. With academics, work your butt off, study with friends, and also do all your homework. That's my big suggestion. Here's the thing, I've had friends who got by through school and didn't work really hard because they were just naturally talented or smart. And with those smart people, what the gift that they have is they have a good way to process information, not just academically, but in real life, that they kind of figure out like, oh, well, hey, this makes sense because I know how to put A plus B equals C together type of thing. And for some of us, it takes a lot longer. Like myself, I had to work my butt off in high school. In college, I started to understand it more. And this is kind of that same logic that eventually helped me win The Price is Right, the game show, and some other prizes, because it's like taking these little pieces, like using my street smarts on how do I apply this to my academic life. So that's probably a video for another time, but essentially just work your butt off, and slowly by slowly you'll eventually have this knack of like, oh, hey, I can actually study and learn this information better if I do it this way versus this way. And that'll come with time, and you'll learn that. So academics, work your butt off, do all your homework, and yeah, just study hard and you'll get there, okay? Sorry, I wish I had a better tip for that one. Let's move on to extracurriculars. Extracurriculars are any activities you do outside of your classroom. So this could be music, this could be sports, this could be a chess club or community service clubs, or it could be like an anime club, or it could be anything. The reason why I urge extracurriculars so much is because extracurriculars, which is something I was really involved with in high school, I was involved with, oh my gosh, this is super silly. At one point I was involved with probably 11 different clubs and officer positions of 5. I don't recommend you do that many, but definitely get involved in some way. Officer roles are great to kind of develop your leadership skills and kind of give you more confidence within yourself. And I will say that those community service clubs I was part of, such as Key Club and American Red Cross, American Cancer Society, all these clubs I was part of kind of gave me the passion to help other people, and brought that out of me. And in return, today, I do what I do today thanks to all the clubs and community service I've done in the past, because I've learned that I enjoy working with people. Moving on, let's talk about friends and relationships. Friends and relationships. So in high school, we always want to learn, how do we fit in with the cool kids, right? And when I got into high school in the 9th grade, I remember in middle school, I was kind of part of the cool kids group. But in high school, we kind of split our separate ways. They kept being part of this cool kids group, and I didn't feel like I fit in anymore. So when I branched off, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know who to hang out with anymore. There's so many little different cliques, and I feel like everyone is already in their groups. And eventually, I kind of skirted myself into this other side group with some friends from a different school, and eventually they became my main group of friends, but I didn't feel like they were the cool kids, but I got stuck with them. And what I came to realize is, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm really glad that I became friends with them, because I got to learn that, you know, not everyone has to be the cool kids. And just because you're not part of the cool kids group that you believe are the cool kids does not make them any less of people. Now, I want to say with making friends and relationships, I think one of the biggest lessons I wish I learned early on was how to be my true self, and just be more relaxed, be that weirdo, and not be afraid of people judging me. I'm just going to make this a quick plug, what I just said, because quite frankly in high school it was a really difficult lesson for me to learn how to just be myself, because quite frankly there was a lot of judgment in high school. So if you have that courage, I encourage you to just be yourself and just be weird and let people accept you for who you are versus the other way around, you trying to conform to them. Okay, let's talk about relationships real quick. In high school, this is kind of an awkward time of our lives. It's really awkward because we have a lot of crushes on people. We're like, oh my goodness, I really like you. And I would say the biggest thing is, the thing is, not everyone's gonna like you back. In fact, I got rejected probably at least like 10 different times, or like, when I say rejected, the girl just didn't like me back. And finally, I met my girlfriend junior year, my first girlfriend and my only one, junior year, and we were together for 3 years. And it just so happened that we liked each other, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So I would say the big thing is don't expect a guy or girl to like you back. And also just note, if you have a huge crush on someone, it's not the end of the world if they don't like you back or if it doesn't work out, because that's life, you know. Relationships are a two-way street. Don't hate them, don't hate yourself. It's not about them, it's not about you. It's just different personalities, and it just doesn't work out, okay? So hopefully that helps. So we talked about academics, we talked about extracurriculars, and we talked about relationships. Now let's move on to what I believe is the internal, or probably I believe is more meaningful thing, which is the struggles that we have as high school students. You're going to have insecurities, and here's what I want you to know. There's probably a pretty good chance that you believe that there's a perfect person in the world right now. It could be an older sibling, or maybe even a younger sibling. It could be your parents, or it could even be classmates that you have, like the smartest kid at your school, or the most attractive, or the most popular kid at your school. You might think these people are perfect. The thing is, and I'm not just saying this, every single person in this world has their own struggles. The coolest kid at your school, if they're acting like they're the coolest kid, chances are they're trying to act like they're a cool kid because they have this insecurity that they need to be the popular kid so they could have their ego fulfilled, like, oh man, people like me, yeah, this is cool. Or like the smartest kid. Quite frankly, a lot of smart people, like my sister, ranked number 3 in her class. I was like, oh my goodness, she's so smart. Quite frankly, a lot of these smart kids, even if they're valedictorians, I know a lot of people who are at the top of the school, and yet they still don't think they're good enough. They don't think their grades are good enough. Like especially number 2 or number 3, they feel like, oh, I'm not number 1, I'm not good enough. And a lot of these people is because they came from backgrounds where their parents push them so hard and they say, you have to be number 1. So every single person has insecurities. I had a ton of insecurities when I was in high school, and quite frankly, I don't think many people knew about them because I didn't share them. And if I were you in high school, I think the earlier on we are vulnerable, we learn to just share, like, dude, I have these problems. We share it with our friends, we share it with the people that we care. The earlier on we are able to have these conversations, the more, I guess, healed and normal lives that we can live, where we're happy and content with where we are at. So those are my tips on how to survive high school. I know this is a very overarching general 101 basic concept. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, or if you want me to dive deeper into academics, social, your extracurriculars, or just those insecurities, please let me know. I have a lot of videos on my channel already, so go ahead and check those out. You can just search for them. Chances are I'll probably have a video on it already, but happy to make videos for you because I do them every single week. Thank you so much, and if you like this video, be sure to share it and also subscribe to this channel, and I will be posting a new video, of course, next week. See you soon. Love you all. Yeah!